Tonight, updates on the Denise Bennett situation at the University of Idaho.
And Washington State will be receiving help in the fight against the measles outbreak.
Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Justin Spinney.
And I'm Nathan Simpf. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
After sending the vandal alert to all students and staff at the University of Idaho addressing the dangers of Denise Bennett, the president spoke out to address safety.
Dr. Chuck Stabin said the University, if Bennett would participate in the protest, increased the concern to send out an alert that said, it reads, quote, Denise Bennett has been barred from the Moscow campus, recent admittance to police of meth use and access to firearms. If seen on campus, call 911.
The president said other faculty members remain taught and that students should still attend her scheduled classes.
Washington is receiving an emergency response team from North Dakota to assist with the measles outbreak. The 5-member unit will relieve members of the Washington response team helping with incident command. Washington will reimburse North Dakota for the expenses associated with the response team. They are expected to work in the state for several weeks. You've probably heard that the measles have spread throughout the Southwest Washington region. However, local school officials say that Pullman students are at low risk. Superintendent of Pullman Schools, Bob Maxwell, has notified locals that aggressive tactics will be considered if the outbreak were to spread. Maxwell also announced that the district working with the county to ensure that the correct steps are being taken.
As of Thursday, 9 law enforcement agencies from across Washington are pledging not to enforce a state gun initiative. Initiative 1639, which was approved by nearly 60% of voters, put more restrictions on gun ownership. Those restrictions include raising the age to own a semi-automatic rifle from 18 to 21 and requiring background checks and safety courses as well. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett is the latest to join the group. The law enforcement agencies claim there is nothing to enforce that the initiative may be unconstitutional.
Speaking of crime in Latah County increases faster than the county can keep up with the commissioner, Dave McGraw, saying the overall crime has increased by 17%, with drugs being the highest crime. And the county commissioners said that the plan to combat this issue in years to come with an increase of $5,000 from the previous fiscal year to support the Latah Recovery Center. Shoplifting has become a problem at local businesses around Pullman. Elijah Clayton has more on how some businesses are calling shoplifters out.
Shoplifting is something that can really hurt a local business. Some convenience stores in the Pullman area are using posted pictures of shoplifters as a way to combat the issue.
These pictures are posted probably every 3-4 weeks, but the more pictures that we post, the less it happens.
The idea is to put shoplifters on display where everybody else can see.
Kind of just to shame them a little bit. You don't steal from a local business and just get away with it.
Shoplifting can end up costing you. Not only is it a crime, but if you're caught at Cougmart, they will charge you $200 of a civil penalty, no matter what you stole.
Now, the corner market behind me has similar posters to those found at Cougmart. They did not want to let us film inside, and they didn't want to give a statement. But it seems to be a common way small businesses are trying to deter people who would shoplift.
Students think that the posters are a good idea as well, saying that they deter someone who may be thinking about shoplifting.
I would hate to be that person who got caught. I think it's appropriate because the reason that they're up there is because someone stole from you.
There's better ways to handle that situation. Like, ask someone else for money. Like, you don't need to steal and commit a crime and potentially get it on your record for life. So.
In Pullman, Elijah Clayton, Murrow, News 8.
Washington is failing to prevent cancers related to smoking tobacco, according to the American Cancer Society. Despite receiving significant tobacco-related funding, the state is having trouble preventing smoking and assisting those with tobacco-related illnesses. The state receives over $600 million every year from tobacco taxes and settlements, but spends only $1.5 million on tobacco prevention. When we come back, Find out how Washington plans to save the endangered orca whales.
And how Moscow residents can avoid red tags on the recycling bins when Murrow News 8 continues.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
We finally bought a place.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
At the end of the month, we have nothing left to save. How is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
I wouldn't use this one.
He helps me with my decision making.
Never.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back to Murrow News 8. To help endangered salmon and orcas, Washington State wants to increase water spillage over the Columbia Basin dams. Officials say that increased spillage will help young Chinook and steelhead salmon make it and migrate out to sea. Governor Jay Inslee hopes this will increase the amount of food for endangered orcas in the Puget Sound that mainly eat the salmon. Saving the orcas is part of the governor's 2019 agenda. This Friday, Tom Moore's exhibit, In Our Community, will be showcased at the Colfax Library. The exhibit will display photos of pheasant hunting with a local family. Its intent is to feature cultural photographs of local events and celebrations around the Palouse. The amount of garbage items found in recycle bins decreased by 8% in Moscow. Contaminations in recycle bins get red tagged, and you can contact the Moscow Recycling Center for a staff member to help sort what garbage should be left out for next time.
Moscow charter schools have collected about 400 pounds of plastic since mid-October. The school is collecting recyclables from students and staff and community members since the plastics are no longer accepted at the Moscow Recycling Center. They're taking items listed on the screen for you. Community members can often drop off their plastics during school hours as well. The 19th annual Food for Fines Drive begins this Friday at the Whitman County Library. The event allows individuals to donate food to pay off up to $10 in outstanding library fines. Whether you have any fines or not, library goers are highly encouraged to donate toiletry and non-perishable food items to support local food banks.
Federal regulators say it's becoming more expensive to clean up the Hanford nuclear site. The U.S. Department of Energy has raised the total remaining environmental cleanup cost of the former nuclear weapons facility by $82 billion. The total estimated cost has now reached $242 billion. Nearly 56 gallons of radioactive waste has been held in underground tanks at the site near the Tri-Cities for decades. Crews have been working to retrieve waste from the tanks and turn it into a form of stable glass for disposal. Delays and cost overruns have plagued the site. The waste conversion plant was supposed to be ready to operate in 2011. New estimates predict it may not be fully operational until 2036.
Well, take a look at this footage out of Southern California. Sheriff's deputies had a mammoth attack or task helping an unusual suspect cross the road. A young elephant seal decided to cross a Highway 1 in San Luis Obispo County and then got stuck. You can see how far away from the shore the poor guy was, but police say they waved red inflatable paddles to try to encourage the marine mammal off the hillside and across the highway. But Fish and Wildlife officers believe the seal was a young male who was also losing the end of his fight with an older male for dominance of a beach they shared nearby, and that the younger seal had to find a new beach to contest with. He likely got lost after crossing the busy highway.
When we come back, a look at your weekend weather.
And tips for carbon monoxide in your home when Murrow News 8 returns.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
The great outside.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
So shiny.
We both love the outdoors.
That's not a flower.
And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Then, we went on Thundershark 3 times.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Places everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back. Who will take care of your pets when you cannot on vacation or as such? The Washington State University Veterinary Teaching Hospital provides many services, more than you can expect in Washington State. Joya Lee went to find out about the services being provided.
The Veterinary Teaching Hospital opened in 1996 and is one of the best equipped veterinary teaching hospitals in the nation. The Department of Veterinary Clinical Sciences is committed to excellence in the diagnosis, treatment, and management of animal health.
Our department sees a really wide variety of animals. We see everything from client-owned pocket pets, so things like rabbits and hamsters and gerbils, to pet parrots, reptiles, amphibians, and then we also see and treat wildlife that comes into us injured from out in the community.
For community practice, we are actually a normal veterinarian for all of our clients, but we do a lot of advanced dentistry on community practice, but we also provide normal services such as wellness for your dog or cat, vaccines. If your dog or cat gets sick, we'd be the first line of treatment for your pet.
The building provides 110,000 square feet of space with effective separation of the large and small animal clinics. For additional information, please visit the WSU Veterinary Teaching Hospital website. 嘉义里, Murrow News 8.
Tomorrow is Groundhog Day, and in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, Phil predicts if winter will continue for 6 more weeks. Phil has not seen his shadow 18 times, but the National Weather Service predicts the polar vortex may allow Phil to see his shadow this year. Do you think he will see his shadow this year, Nathan?
Well, that's a good question to ask. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we're not feeling that polar vortex yet, but it's been 133 years of seeing Punxsutawney Phil predict our weather. But as you can see today, I'm calling it the warm before the cold, like the storm. We're going to be in the mid to upper 40s today, and tonight in the mid to upper 30s. Tomorrow's very much the same, and then we get into our cold snap. We'll get into the 20s, and therefore we can go to the state map, and I can show you exactly where that cold is coming from. And the cold is coming from the north, and we're having a warm front right now, and then to cold, bringing us some winter weather tomorrow night and to Sunday. And then our 5-day forecast, we are going to basically see a little bit about the 20s and the teens for nights for the next 5 days. We've got some rain coming in, and then some snow being about 2 to 3 inches over the weekend. And that's the weather for you, so hopefully that will help you.
Speaking of the cold weather, the Pullman Fire Department advises residents check their heating systems and test them for carbon monoxide. Tips to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning include having a carbon monoxide detector, make sure it has batteries, replace detectors every 2 years, place detectors 10 feet away from appliances burning gas, and put a detector in any living space. When we come back, why the NFL reached out to the former Coug star with a mustache.
And we have a story that will shed some light on the toughest women on the WSU campus. All of that returns when Murrow's News 8 returns.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to the show. Brady Frederick has joined us here at the desk. It's been a big week in sports, Brady. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Thanks, Justin. It's a big weekend for sports. Let's start with an event that's happening right now. The WSU track and field team is hosting the 2019 Cougar Invite. It started just a few minutes ago at 12:30 in the indoor practice facility, also known as the Bubble. This is the final indoor home meet of the season for the Cougs. Competition will carry on tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Last Saturday at the UW Invitational, Charisma Taylor set the WSU indoor triple jump record at 12.96 meters. Jake Ulrich recorded 46.75 second meter 400-meter dash, putting him at the 11th best time in the nation. And Emma Jenkins set the WSU freshman indoor 3,000-meter dash record at 9 minutes 43 seconds. WSU looks to set more records today and tomorrow. A former WSU quarterback will showcase his skills to NFL scouts at the end of the month. Yes, Gardner Minshew told CougFan.com that he received an NFL Combine invitation yesterday. In the Senior Bowl last Saturday, Minshew completed 1 of 8 passes for 4 yards, so Minshew has an opportunity to redeem himself in front of NFL scouts. The Spokesman Review beat reporter for the Cougar football team, Theo Lawson, looked into other former Cougs with NFL draft potential and found out offensive lineman Andre Dillard and running back James Williams are also headed to the Combine in Indianapolis. WSU football has had a player invited to the NFL Combine every year since 2013. And there's some of the toughest women on campus. The WSU women's rugby team started their season last Saturday with a big win over Oregon State. Sean O'Connor met with the team as they hope to continue their season undefeated.
Rugby is a violent sport. Collisions are a part of the game, but that doesn't take away from the family-like atmosphere on the pitch.
It's a brutal sport, honestly, but when you're playing with your best friends, that's what makes it really fun.
The Cougars won their opening game 24-10 over visiting Oregon State. Although the sun shined down on the Cougs in their victory, that's not always the case with this year-round sport.
We play in all terrains, so regardless of weather, if it's raining, if it's snowing, we still come out here 100%. We step onto the pitch like it's still a varsity team and we give it our all.
Most of the players on the team haven't been playing for very long, with many of the players stepping onto the pitch for the first time when arriving at WSU.
I'd never played before and I didn't really want to play soccer again, and so I came out to the rugby team and just the girls on the pitch, like the team environment, just the friendships you can make here is just like more than anything, it's so fun, and playing with your best friends, like there's nothing better than that.
The Wazoo women's rugby team looks to improve to 2-0 on the season when they take on Boise State next week. Sean O'Connor, Murrow News 8.
Well, I hope that was enough good news because the rest of the Cougar sports teams have had a rough time. WSU men's basketball looks to end a 4-game losing streak tomorrow against the USC Trojans. USC, currently ranked 3rd in the Pac-12, travels to Pullman to play the Cougs tomorrow at 4. Robert Franks and C.J. Ellaby, who combined for 36 points in the Cougars' 87-67 loss to UCLA on Wednesday, look to lead the offense to their second conference win. Currently second to last in the Pac-12, the Cougs need to start stringing some wins together if they want a better seed in the Pac-12 tournament. The WSU women's basketball team takes on the UCLA Bruins tonight at 7 in Los Angeles. They are coming off of a 52-35 loss to number 9th Oregon State Beavers last Sunday. Borislava Ristova and Chanel Molina both nearly recorded double-doubles, but the Cougs needed more than 35 points as a team if they want to win. The Cougs are currently 2-7 in conference and striving to end their 4-game losing streak. Tonight at 5, the WSU women's swim team looks to extend its winning streak over Oregon State. The matchup at 5 tonight marks the 54th all-time meeting between the two schools, and the Cougs have not lost to the Beavers since 2012. Last time the Cougs were in the pool, sophomore Taylor McCoy saw success against the nationally ranked Arizona Wildcats as she took home 3 individual victories and was a member of the winning 400-meter medley relay team. The performance earned her Pac-12 Women's Swimmer of the Week on January 23rd. Tonight in Corvallis, the Cougs look to end their 4-meet losing streak and win their first conference swim meet of the season. And of course, we can't let you go without talking about Sunday's big game. In a rematch of 2002's Super Bowl 36, the Los Angeles Rams take on the New England Patriots at 3:30 on Sunday in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick won their first Super Bowl championship against the Rams. Now they seek their 6th. Third-year quarterback Jared Goff and second-year head coach Sean McVay seek their first. The narrative is set. Can the younger generation Rams topple the Patriots dynasty and usher a new era in the NFL? Or will Brady and Belichick continue their nearly 20 years of dominance? It's sure to be an exciting game on Sunday.
When we come back, WSU plans to build a $10 million baseball facility.
And Des Moines, Iowa is actually colder than a freezer. All of that when Murrow News 8 returns.
Stay with us.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
In honor of National Girls and Women in Sports Day, WSU is hosting a youth clinic in appreciation for the progress of women in sports. WSU Athletics expects over 100 children for a day that includes a short seminar, a 2-hour sports clinic, and free tickets to the Cougar women's basketball game against Arizona. This is one of more than 500 events nationwide to celebrate girls and women in Sports Day.
Last week, the Board of Regents approved a $10 million project to new public clubhouse at the WSU baseball team's university. Currently has $4 million in donations for the facility already and expects to receive $2.5 million in donations this year. The remaining $3.5 million will be loaned for the project by the Board of Regents.
Temperatures in Des Moines, Iowa have dropped so low, people working in a cold storage unit say it's actually warmer inside their freezers. Ben Oldak reports.
They call it the coolest job in the metro, but oddly enough today it's warmer inside Des Moines Crossroads cold storage than it is outside.
Not used to it at all. It's weird this place being warmer than outside right now.
The loading dock is set to a balmy 35 degrees.
It was cold today, now the wind's picked up and it's colder outside it is in here, so the guys really love to come to work today.
Employees say that it's crazy that it's warmer inside the dock than it is outside, but what's even crazier is that with the wind chills, it's warmer in the negative 10-degree blast freezer.
If I could open up the window in those freezers and save some energy today and pull in some of that cold air like tonight, I could do that. I would love to do that on our energy bill.
The employees work a couple hours at a time in and out of the Sub-Zero freezer every day, moving perishable food from trucks to storage and back out to be delivered across the country. They estimate they'll move 800,000 pounds of food a day, so they know a thing or two about staying warm.
Invest in good warm clothing for the cold because it's very cold right now, so it's going to be cold for a couple of days, so invest a couple of dollars, if it's really cold in the wind, get a face mask, get some good insulated gloves, things like that.
Carhartt, I love all the Carhartt gear. It's really good. And the Under Armour, that's pretty much what I always wear.
While the employees say they're used to the cold, even they are impressed by Mother Nature.
I would not have seen it coming. Even when I came out of, I think it was Walmart I was at yesterday, I'm like, this feels like the freezer. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I wonder how regular people is, because I was cold. So it's definitely, I've never seen it coming.
Thank you for watching tonight. Be sure to watch our live newscasts at northwestpublicbroadcasting.org/MN8 and on Cable 8 at 7 and 10.
Don't forget, you can also follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Good night.